is how I am going to be preparing for the FPL double game week in double game week 24 or double game week 25 coming up. Something that we definitely need to be prepared for with our teams, because we don't want to be taking hits. We don't want to be making too many chances. We want to be ready and well prepared for this double game week that's coming up with Liverpool and Everton. If you're an FPL fan and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do hit subscribe to the channel. We do daily FPL content with all of the latest news regarding injuries and all the latest news around my team as well personally. So if you enjoy the video as well, please do drop a like if you enjoy. And let's start off by talking about the Everton assets, because Everton, I mean, they've just sacked Sean Dyche at the time of recording this video, which is very, very interesting. Obviously, Everton have been pretty solid at the back this season. It's been going forward where they've been nothing short of diabolical. So defensively, I think for the double game, because the only real options that I'm going to look at the moment, but we'll have to see who the new manager is who's getting appointed. Jose Mourinho's linked. Surely that's not going to happen, but we'll have to see the kind of style that Everton are going to go for going forward, but there's no doubt they are in a relegation battle and they are going to need to pick up results. So looking at the potential fixtures that Everton have in the double game week, they have a double game week potentially in game week 24 or 25, as I said. And in game week 24, they do actually play Leicester, which is quite a nice double game week. Obviously, the other game is against Liverpool, which is a tough game, but Leicester at home and Liverpool at home as well isn't too bad. And then if it is in game week 25, Everton do play Crystal Palace away, which again is an alright fixture. Crystal Palace don't score a massive amount of goals, and Everton, as I say, they have been over the course of the season pretty solid at the back. So as far as options for me, the standout, the absolute number one standout, who will pretty much definitely be in my team, is Jordan Pickford, the second highest point scoring keeper this season. A lot of people prefer Matt Selves in the minute, which is fair enough, but he doesn't have that double game week that Pickford has. So for me, in my personal team, he's going to be a transfer. I'll talk about my team and what I'm going to do later in the video, but Pickford is definitely one to target in my opinion. As far as other options from Everton, defensively, they're good, and like going forward, I just can't look at them. There's no way, even with a double game week, I don't even know who I'd choose, like, because Calvert-Lewin's been on the bench recently. I think Armando Broja's been starting at least the last game anyway. And there's Iliman Ndiaye, but I'm not really. There's no one really that I want to get for Everton, to be honest. Maybe McNeil if he comes back from injury in time, but even still, probably not. The other player that I'd only consider would be Mykolenko. I believe he's still 4.3 million. And as I say, Everton have been decent in the back so far this season. And if it is a double game week against Leicester and Liverpool, it's not a bad time to bring in Mykolenko, in my opinion, if you wanted to go for that double up. But then you are going to have to sacrifice one of your good defenders. It might be an Ola Aina, you might have value in already, you might have value in Anthony Robinson, you might have value in a Lewis Hall. There's multiple players that you might have to get rid of for Mykolenko, which you don't want to lose all that value in your players to be just for Mykolenko's got a double against Liverpool, because the chance in Everton keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool, you'd have to say it is quite low. Against Leicester, they might have a decent chance, but overall, it's a difficult one. But Pickford, for me, is an absolute standout as far as Everton assets go. And it is also worth considering Everton's fixtures in between as well, because obviously they've got games around that double game week. So say you did bring in Pickford and it was a double game week in double game week 24. You've also then got a decent run of fixture after. I said they do have Palace in 25. United in 26 isn't too bad. Brentford, Wolves, West Ham. It's not a bad run for Everton. So having a Pickford and keeping him is absolutely fine. Even if he had tougher fixtures anyway, Pickford just gets saving points no matter what. And he got the most points last season as far as FPL goalkeepers, the second most so far this season. He's a pretty steady pick. As for Mykolenko, as I say, if you wanted to go for somebody like him, it's a decent enough run of fixtures to justify picking a Mykolenko when you get that double game weekend as well. But he's one that I'm not 100% convinced with. As far as Liverpool assets go for me, I'm probably going to be looking at building towards a triple. As I say, we'll go through my team in a second. I've currently got 2 Liverpool players in the side, but there's multiple players that you can choose in Liverpool, in all fairness. You can go for Alisson in goal, but for me, Pickford's the standout just due to the fact that he's really one of the only Everton viable assets. So I wouldn't really be looking at Alisson, but if you wanted to, he's nailed on. Obviously, he's going to play whenever he's fit. He's obviously had injury troubles this season, but when he's fit, obviously we know he's going to play both games in double game week, because you can't guarantee that with some of these other players. Now, Konate, whenever he's been fit, Arne Slot's always chosen Konate in at 5.1 million, I think he is. Great value and a cheaper way into that Liverpool defence. And for me, he's actually probably more nailed on than Trent. And we'll talk about Trent now, where he didn't start in the Carabao Cup, which is a little bit concerning. We'll see what Arne Slot goes for in the FA Cup. Obviously, Liverpool have an FA Cup game before. I think it's against Accrington Stanley. So we'll see who starts, either Conor Bradley or Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold came on and played alright, I thought, to be fair, against Spurs. But there's absolutely no guarantee that Alexander-Arnold can play both of these games in the double game week. So if Liverpool did double, they would have a double if it was a game week 24, they'd have the double against Bournemouth and Everton, of course. And if they were in game week 25, it would be Wolves and Everton as well, which the two decent enough doubles. You would rather it be double game week 25, to be honest, due to the fact that Liverpool actually have a home fixture against Wolves, which is a better fixture than Bournemouth away. But even still, it's not a bad double game week either way for both of them. And it's Liverpool who are the best team in the league, no doubt about it, up until this point so far this season. So Trent, he's great if he's nailed, but I don't even know if he's nailed. I think he'll still keep his place. I think he's obviously the number one right back choice, but when fixture close together and Conor Bradley is a fan favourite at Liverpool, you can't be 100% sure and say that Trent is going to play both games, but he is in my personal team at the moment. But as I say, we'll wait and see with the FA Cup and Accrington Stanley and who plays the minutes, and we can kind of work it out from there. As for Mo Salah, of course, do I even need to talk about him? He's going to be a lot of people's triple captain if they double in 24 or 25. I think most people are going to go from his triple captain if they've still got their triple captain available, which unfortunately I don't. But Mohamed Salah is going absolutely nowhere, of course. Now, you can also talk about Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota. Just their minutes is just not enough for me. And Gakpo, he's started a lot of games recently, Gakpo has, and he's started more than Luis Diaz. He's started more than Jota, who's obviously been injured. Again, Gakpo, I'm not 100% sold on, but it does help that Gakpo's a forward as well. There's not a massive amount of standout forward options. You've got obviously Alexander ISAK, Chris Wood, and then as far as the other third striker, is there anybody that's absolutely you can rely on and choose as a long-term option? Probably not. So you can maybe go for a punt on Cody Gakpo, but he's probably my least favourite out of the lot there, out of all them, bar Alisson, and we'll see, as I say, with Trent Alexander-Arnold. As for my personal team, this is how it's looking at the moment. We have got 2 Liverpool assets. We've currently got no Everton assets in, but a very simple transfer. Right now I have 3 free transfers as well. So a very simple transfer for me could just be from Raya to Pickford, just a straight move across, which is, I'm quite happy to be able to going into the double game with one Everton asset. I don't really think I need to go for any more, because otherwise it's just creates a problem down the line where I might want to get rid of them Everton defenders later on. And Pickford, I'm quite happy just to bring him in and then probably have him in until when a wild card, or even have him into the end of the season, depending on how he's getting on under the new Everton management. As for Trent Alexander-Arnold, as I say, he is a bit of a concern at the moment with Conor Bradley playing and was starting the Carabao Cup game against Spurs. Trent did come on, as I say. I think he played quite well. So I still think Trent will start against Nottingham Forest, but it's quite worrying concerns how Arne Slot does. I do think Arne Slot does like Conor Bradley quite a lot, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, you can't deny the quality, so he's got to stick with Trent Alexander-Arnold in my opinion. And then as for my other Liverpool asset I've currently got in is, of course, Mo Salah, who's my captain currently against Nottingham Forest. We'll have to see if that changes on later on as we get closer to the deadline. But as for another Liverpool asset, I do think Cody Gakpo is definitely one to watch, just due to the fact that he's started so many games recently. And currently I have Nicholas Jackson in. I could take a risk and maybe just take a punt on a Gakpo, bring him in for Jackson, and hope for the best, basically. Hope that Gakpo keeps his place and at least plays 60 minutes and starts both of the games in the double game week. But you've got to have at least 2 Liverpool assets, I feel, for the game week, and as well as that, you've got to at least have Jordan Pickford. You've got to have at least 3 players overall for the double game week, preferably 4. But any more than that, I think you probably just look into double game week a bit too deep, especially from an Everton perspective, who do have Liverpool, of course, as their second fixture in whatever double game week it may be. But anyway, let me know what you think of the double game week in the comment section down below. What are you planning to do with it? Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. That'd be very much appreciated. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.